And of course, the real healing really occurs when we change what we see inside of us. You notice when he started talking about it, he had this picture and he had these strong emotions of something he never really experienced with the pictures. He created this. I mean, he wasn't there. He can't even remember when he was there. But since he had pictures and he created this, and it became a metaphor, which, of course, we can still play it. And what's really real is what we do to ourselves right now. I mean, that's the real deal. And it's all really a form of, it's a trance. It's an automatic trance. You know, a hypnotist will put somebody in trance. Some of you seen stage show. They put the person in trance, and they said, whenever I say the color blue, and only when I say the color blue, you will quack like a duck. All right? And then they'll pull them out of trance, and they'll go sit down, and he's saying, you know, I was looking at this girl with a blue shirt on, and he'll stand up and go quack, 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 quack. And he looks around, so he sit back down. And he said, yeah, I was looking at this blue tablecloth. Quack, 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 quack. Well, what happens is our brains operate exactly the same way. Today, when you go out to your car, you just drive. That's a hypnotic state. But at one time when you began to do it, I mean, you had to figure out which way to turn the key. That's one operating skill. Another is operating the transmission. And that's another skill. And then another one is learning how to apply the gas or apply the brake. But at first, it's like a million different things you have to do at one time. But eventually, since the unconscious mind knows how to do all this stuff, it accumulates these skills, and now driving is one skill. I remember it wasn't long ago, Matthew, we bought him a standard. And he asked me a question. I'm trying to teach him how to drive, and he just can't really get it, you know, and it'd die over and over again. And he said, well, how do you know when it's in gear? I said, well, you just know. So then I thought, well, because, see, you know, when you drive, you automatically have a program in your brain on how to drive a standard. So then I had to think and say, okay, how do I know that so in my mind, I go back, I say, well, when I come up, I do certain things. That's how I know. But just telling him, you just know, he goes, what? You know, because it didn't make sense. And then I started showing him how to drive a standard. Before, I just drove a standard. One skill. Then I started to help me understand it. Then all of a sudden, now it probably is one skill for him. But for him, it was many skills. And so what we want to do is understand, you know, when somebody says, I have procrastination, I said, well, give me some. I need some every now and then. And they say, no, I don't really. I mean, I have procrastination. I said, well, how do you know you have procrastination? You know, or I have depression. I said, well, I could use a little depression right now. I'm feeling a little too happy. Can you give me 5 ounces worth? And I look at you like you're crazy. I said, one does depressing things. One does things to oneself. Self-worth comes from what you do to self. Well, what he would do to himself is he'd play this crap that isn't real anymore. But it felt real. Who supplied all the emotions? So what we're going in is we're going inside and releasing this. So there are many people who've seen me personally. You know, I do a lot of personal consultations. First session is always 2 hours, and always within the 2 hours, there are many things occur. We're doing deep, deep unconscious work. We're doing internal shifts. We're releasing the emotions and stuff. And so what I want to do, there's several people who have seen me personally more than once, and I know Linda, she's seen me for, how was it? It wasn't a whole year. It was like 6 months, wasn't it? 6 months. And of course, major changes. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd hand the mic to a few people who've seen me personally and kind of share their personal experiences as far as the transformations and how they felt and the emotions about this. Because, guys, some of you, this is all new. Hopefully, you'll stay on this. And if you stay on it, you'll live longer, you'll be healthier, you'll overcome. If you don't stay on this, what will happen is you'll go back to the crud. And we don't want to go back to the crud. You can do it. I mean, you have that right to do that. But what we want to do is use this as a growth process. My seminars are a great bargain. because we do more work in 1 2-hour session than a lot of people have been able to do in 30 years of therapy. And we're fine-tuning your skills. And we're addressing things on a deep inside you that would probably never change. But there is the problem with this. One, it does stir you up. Well, that stirring is helping you heal. When you pull one layer off, the next layer says, it's my turn. Then you address that one. And eventually there will be very little layers left. There'll be just little pieces. Does that make sense? So I have several people that I just want to just kind of hand you the mic, share what you want, and I'm going to hit several different people.
And I had 5 pages of stuff to clear up. But no great traumas. You know, I don't have a lot of just huge, you know, traumas, but a lot of little stuff that was just baggage, you know. And in thinking about this, the reoccurring theme Robert and I came across was loss. A lot of loss in my life, a lot of deaths, a lot of just, you know, a loss of family at age 10. My parents got divorced, and just a lot of loss. And so I've been reflecting on that, and I have so much now. I have so many relationships. And the last month or so, the last couple of months, I guess, I remember Memorial Weekend, you couldn't blast me out of my house. I was just bound. I don't think I got dressed until, 6 o'clock on Saturday. I mean, it was just, I didn't want to go anywhere. This weekend, after I saw you on Thursday, I did multiple social things every day up until last night. I mean, and I won at mahjong. I mean, I couldn't put any more money in my pocket. I had in my little pouch. I had to carry it home in my pocket. So so I've gone from loss to winning. I won the last hand at spades last night. I went 10 for 2 and set them in their nil. And I mean, we doubled their score and won. And we decided it was the last hand last night. And I had a new client yesterday. My business has been kind of slow lately. I'm a massage therapist. And I think it's just recession. I don't know. But it could be me just asking the universe for some time off and not being specific enough, not that much time, but I had a new client yesterday, and he called me today and said, is it weird for someone to call you the next day and want to come see you again, like today? And I said, well, you might want to wait a couple of days, But I was telling Robert that the very next morning I sat down to pay some bills at my computer, and the shift I noticed was I wasn't angry afterwards. Usually I'm kind of like, hate to do that. But, I mean, I was, like, happy to do it. And I went, wow. I mean, it was so actually such a shift that I went, this is cool. So I've had a lot of little things. It's subtle and it's little, but I'm noticing it. And I just feel lighter, so much lighter. Thank you. Worth every penny.